Hey, shalom, shalom. All praise, glory, and honor be unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakak Wadash. Peace and double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Once again, shalom to the elect out there, okay, scattered into the four corners of the earth. So I'm going to do this quick in transit lesson going into the time of Jacob's trouble, the times that we're living in, and the times of the humbling of the people of the earth, all right, the people that inhabit the earth, especially here in America, because America has been in a lofty position. That's why this place is called the Lady of Kingdoms. Excuse me. It's reference that she dwells without care. America. These people think that this is America is all there ever will be. America is all there ever has been, and they're so in love and attached to this world that they can't see anything else outside of America just continuing on forever. Okay, which is a very bleak outlook. But we have hope. Okay, we have hope. We're going into the topic of the title of the lesson, which is that these migrants slayed um, three young women. And this is just one report. I'm sure there's others out there. A lot of grape going on, I'm sure, which the scriptures mentions that. Okay, it mentions that the women will be ravished. Okay, and this is just the beginning of that. And the scriptures mentions that tremble ye women that are at ease. Okay, and the American woman is on such a high horse, is so full with pride that the only way that they're actually going to be humbled and understand their place, which is to be under a man, all right, is for horrible judgments to come. That's why you talk to a lot of these women. They don't want that. I spoke to this one woman. She said, I don't want to see the rapture, which, that's how they look at the end when the Lord comes back. They call it the rapture. You know, whatever you call it, the Lord Yahweh Shai, who you ignorantly call Christ, he's going to come back on a fathership, on a giant spaceship, and he's going to save his elect of the nation of Israel. That's essentially what it is. But they, for some reason, well, we know the reason, but, for some reason, they don't want that to happen. And they'll say, well, I don't want to see the rapture. I don't want to see, but if you claim to love the Most High, or you claim this, you claim that, you have all these Bible quotes in your bio on Instagram, but these are the same women. They'll have a Bible scripture tattooed on their arm, okay, or on some part of their body. But then when you tell them about the end, they don't want to deal with it. Why? Because they don't want this to end. They don't want this time to end because they know that it's going to change. Everything's going to be turned back to this rightful order, which to them is upside down, but to us is right side up. All right, so you're going to have a lot of these things happening, much more. Okay, it's going to be much more prevalent, especially as the weather gets nicer, more people are out. America right now is a powder keg. All right, it's basically a barrel full of gunpowder ready to explode. And it's only going to take a couple things to set these people off, especially you notice the timing of what they're doing, letting the migrants come in, and also the people that want to come to this country realizing that if the presidency changes in 2024, then they're not going to be able to be running roughshod no more because, Trump, the Republicans, they're not standing for that bullshit. So they're trying to take advantage of it now. All right, they're trying to take advantage of it now, but the scripture says that a kingdom divided against itself cannot stand. Okay, so we know that this kingdom is as divided as it's ever been. And these type of issues, I've seen a lot of people on social media posting about how these young women were slain by migrants, right? And you can see that the people are just about at the tipping point. And, and that's saying a lot because Americans are very docile people. Americans will let a lot of shit slide and just ignore things. But now it's getting to the point where they can't ignore what's going on. They can't ignore the fact that you have tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of, people that they can't keep track of, and that they can't keep track of. And what are they about to do? They already have the solution. Problem, reaction, solution. We always go into that. So they have the solution. What is the solution? Well, in order to keep track of all these people, we can have a system. And I believe Trump mentioned that. He said we're gonna have a digital tracking system and things of that nature, right? And we know what that is. That's the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast. Okay. I spoke to a particular Jake, who was a Northern Kingdom Jake. I worked with him before. And I had mentioned to him that they're going to be using this to force people, like they'll give you citizenship, but you got to get a chip to come with it. So, and he could tell and see that what I was saying was true concerning the mark of the beast. So we know and understand that these things are happening. It's accelerating. The prophecies are speaking louder than ever. All right, the oracles of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai has been given to us. So we're going to keep saying it. We're going to keep, you may say it's repetitive, but the Holy Scriptures are repetitive. And we're not here for anybody's entertainment either. So if you think this is repetitive or you're bored, well, guess what? We don't give a fuck, okay? Because we're not here to entertain nobody. We're here to edify our people, okay? We're here to edify the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And edify means to build up. So we're building you up by teaching you these prophecies and teaching you what's happening. All right. But this is going to lead perfectly into the time of Jacob's trouble. All right. This is going to lead perfectly right into it. And Jacob's trouble could pop by spring, summer this year. And then let alone imagine the devastation that's going to be by the end of the year. And some major events we already know. All right. Because every year has been getting worse and worse. So we know that next year most likely is going to be a devastating, by next year, by 2025, is going to be some kind of devastating event, so that they can set up the next phase of this thing, because they're ready to push that chip, all right, on the highest level. Okay, and they already have the perfect scenario. They have all the agendas. They have everything lined up. They got all their ducks lined up, so to speak. All right, they got everything that they want. But the scripture says when he's getting ready to fill his belly, that's when the Lord is going to strike him down. All right. So this whole thing with the migrants and the violence that's happening to that, remember, a lot of them could very well be UN troops, could be trained assassins, could be all different types of people, man. All right. So in these last days, you're going to have much more of these things happening. And that's why we teach our people, especially you women out there, that you got to humble down. All right. And quit moving out here like can't shit happen to you. Okay. Because people in America have been living this life, this cushy life, for so long that they're so oblivious to their surroundings. These women just go out, no protection, out into the world. In the ancient times, women weren't just moving around like that. Okay, especially if they knew there was a ready and present danger. You see, but the so-called white man, the devil, has deceived you into thinking that, all right, you're going to be able to just, keep living this life, and you don't need a man and you don't need no protection. But we're coming to find out that that's one of the biggest lies that was told to you. All right, that's one of the biggest lies that was told to the women of our nation. And the only way most of them are going to learn is by destructive judgment. All right, they're going to have to see, bloodshed, because they're very wanton. They're proud. They don't need a man. I just seen an interview of this one Eve. She's gonna be mincemeat during Jacob's trouble. Women like this, but she said the dude asked her, what do you do? She said she had an OnlyFans, so on and so forth. And he said, all right. He's one of those guys that goes on the red pill dudes that go on the street and interview these women and just expose them. And she said, yeah, I make this much on OnlyFans. I don't need no man. And he was like, well, how would your future husband feel? She said, oh, husband, fuck a husband. I got 2 or 3 husbands. I got a few husbands. I keep a few on deck. So women like that, we're not going to feel bad for you when you get destroyed. All right. When the martial law troops come and bust down your door and have their way with you, we're not going to feel bad for you at all, because you already said that you don't need us. All right, you already made yourself an enemy to the men of your nation, especially the men of the Lord. Okay, so when that time comes, you women, you're gonna have to keep that same energy. All right. So you women that are following this truth, be mindful of what you're doing, what you're out there doing, and keep your head on a swivel. And that goes for all of us, really. But you can see that it's turning up, and the time is coming where everything is going to be accounted for. You know what? I just pulled over real quick, so let me grab this, grab a quick precept. Then we'll close it out because really straightforward lesson. All right, but the Lord is responsible for those women getting put to death. All right. And there's going to be much more women. This is Isaiah 13 and 16. Their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled and their wives ravished. Ravished means what? All right, raped. Okay. So you're going to have these type of situations popping up more and more. And you're going to see, you brothers out there are going to see these women about, if they're not already, these women are going to start looking at us very different, man. They're going to start seeing the value in us. Now is the time for us to be very selective, though, with who we deal with. And if a woman is not in order, she's got to get a swift kick to the ass out of your life quick. All right. Because, we're the ones that are holding the cards in these last days through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. All right. Everybody on earth is dancing to the tune of the song that the Lord has us singing. So they all have to humble down. All right. But these women, they think that their shit don't stick, man. They think that they can't get touched. You're going to find out you are going to get touched. All right. Isaiah 3 and 16. Moreover, Yahweh saith, because the daughters of Zion are haughty and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes. Wanton is basically like eyes that are looking flirtatiously and seductively, walking and mincing as they go and making a tinkling with their feet. Therefore, Yahweh will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion. Right. That's why you women, a lot of them can't grow hair. A lot of them are bald up top. Their hairline goes all the way back here, and they're maybe in their 20s. All right. And Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai will discover their secret parts. Right. So you're going to be out here exposed. All right. You're going to be out here. She women, the baddest bee, so to speak. She's going to be out there bucket naked with no covering. All right. And that's symbolic as well as literal because they're going to be stripped down. All right. But it also represents them not having knowledge and wisdom. And that knowledge and wisdom ultimately comes by them coming up under the order of a man of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. All right. So you're going to have these things, man. You're going to have the time, a horrible time like has never been before on earth. But yet, what is Eve doing? She's on the edge of the cliff, twerking in high heels. She's on the edge of the cliff, twerking with high heels. But here it is. She's about to fall off that cliff. Jeremiah 30 and 7, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Right. So Jacob's trouble is right. We're right at the doorstep of it. All right. It ain't around the corner. It's right down the block and we can see it coming. Okay. But he shall be saved out of it. Right. So that's talking about the elect being saved out of that time of trouble, which is a time like no other. The scriptures mentioned that, they're going to be going around. These troops are going to be going around, which a lot of them most likely have already infiltrated through this whole migrant crisis. All right. So they didn't have to invade and come in and like have a whole standing army and pull up. No, they didn't have to do that. All they had to do was have this migrant crisis. And now you can have people and they get paid to come in. Why do you think the government is funding this shit, man? You see, this is all a setup. It's all a setup, man. All right. And it's only going to get worse, So, hey, we got to rejoice seeing these times, man. It's all beautiful. And may the Lord bring more judgments upon these wicked people. All right. So with that, call Allah Yamla Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai by Hashem Chak Wadash. Hey, Shalom.